The Senate will come to order. I ask everyone present to please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the absence of clergy, let us bow our heads in a moment of silent reflection and/or prayer. Reading of the Journal.
In Senate, Tuesday, February 13, 2024, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The Journal of Monday, February 12, 2024 was read and approved. On motion, the Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the Journal stands approved as read. Presentation of petitions, messages from the Assembly, messages from the Governor, report of standing committees, report of select committees, communications and reports from state offices, motions and resolutions. Senator Serrano.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is there a report of the Judiciary Committee at the desk?
There is a report of the Judiciary Committee at the desk.
Okay, can we please take that up?
Secretary will read.
Senator Hoylman Siegel from the Commission on Judiciary reports the following nominations. As interim Supreme Court Justice, 8th Judicial District, John J. Del Monte.
Senator Serrano.
I move to accept the report of the Judiciary Committee.
All those in favor of accepting the report of the Judiciary Committee signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The report of the Judiciary Committee is accepted. Senator Serrano.
Please take up the report of the Judiciary Committee and call on Senator Hoylman Siegel.
The Secretary will read. Senator Hoylman Siegel on the nomination.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to move the nomination of John J. Del Monte for interim justice of the Supreme Court in the 8th Judicial District. Yesterday, Mr. President, the Judiciary Committee considered his nomination and unanimously recommended his confirmation. Mr. Del Monte is a graduate of Niagara University and South Texas College of Law and was admitted to the New York State Bar in 1980. As he shared during his appearance before the Judiciary Committee yesterday, Mr. Del Monte has 40 years of experience practicing in New York's Supreme Court, handling all areas of law, which was noted by our committee members, including product liability, real property law and litigation, corporate, contract, and commercial litigation, municipal and education law, as well as divorce and matrimonial law. Mr. Del Monte has prized himself on being a person his friends, families, and colleagues lean on for complex legal issues. I guess you don't get paid for that. For the last 4 years, he has committed himself to providing legal aid in Buffalo, serving as the Director of Neighborhood Legal Services since 2020. I want to thank Governor Hochul for nominating such a distinguished individual to serve on our judiciary, and Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins for prioritizing this confirmation. I want to thank my colleagues from Buffalo, in particular Senator Sean Ryan, for helping shepherd this nomination through the process, along with Senator Tim Kennedy. And I'm proud to move Mr. Del Monte's nomination to the floor and encourage our colleagues to vote aye. I ask that you please recognize any senator who wishes to speak on the nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hoylman Siegel. Senator Ryan on the nomination.
I stand in favor of the nomination of John Del Monte for Supreme Court. I thank Governor Hochul for sending such a worthy candidate to us, and I thank Senator Hoylman for helping bring him through the proceedings yesterday. John is here today with us. He's joined by his sister Francine, who I will note served in the State Assembly for over a decade. It's good to see both of you here today. John has a long and distinguished legal career. He's a consummate lawyer, and from my perspective, that means somebody who practices many areas of law. John's the neighborhood attorney you go to when you're buying a house. You have a family court problem, a divorce, a brush with the law. You call John Del Monte because he's a firm member of our community. But the broadness of his career also means that he brings trials to verdict. He represents school districts in complex commercial transaction. He brings PLAs together. So this broad experience is really what we want out of judges who come to the bench. So John's experience is going to serve him well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't note his humble personality and his integrity is really what's going to make him a fantastic judge. He does what he says what he does, and he comes to this body, humbly seeking his confirmation for his nomination. So I could not be more pleased and stand today in favor of this nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Ryan. The question is on the nomination. Call the roll.
Addabbo, Janoris Kruger, Ortso, Cousins White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 50.
The nominee is confirmed. Senator Serrano.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can we return to motions and resolutions? We can take up, let's please take up previously adopted resolutions 1585 and 1587 by Senator Tedisco. Read both resolutions title only and recognize Senator Tedisco.
Senator Serrano, prior to Senator Tedisco's nomination, if Mrs. Del Monte could just please rise and be recognized on his nomination. Secretary can read the resolution. Senator Tedisco, Secretary needs to read the title of the resolution.
Resolution 1585, congratulating by Senator Tedisco, congratulating the Burnt Hills Boston Lake girls varsity volleyball team upon the occasion of capturing the 2023 New York State Class A championship. Senate Resolution 1587, congratulating the Burnt Hills Boston Lake High School boys cross country team and head coach Chip Button upon the occasion of capturing the 2023 New York State Class B cross country championship.
Senator Tedisco on the championship resolutions.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, my colleagues, let me wish you all a very happy Valentine's Day and a good Ash Wednesday to you and everyone who is in the earshot. First of all, I want to say we have some outstanding and great schools and school districts in the 44th Senatorial District, primarily because we have some outstanding students and pupils and great leadership with the administration and staff and great community support. Today, I'm proud to welcome not one, but two state champions to the New York State Senate Chamber, both from Burnt Hills Boston Lake High School, an outstanding school in the 44th Senate District, where I like to say all good things emanate from. Because they won the coin toss, I will begin with the varsity girls volleyball team and Coach Gary Bynan, whose team captured the 2023 New York State Class A championship with an impressive 25-13, 25-19, 23-25, and 25-22 four-set victory over Williamsville South High School on Sunday, November 19, 2023, at Cool Insuring Arena in Glens Falls. This was the program's 9th state title in school history, preceded by 36 consecutive Suburban Council titles and 21 consecutive Section 2 championships. These outstanding athletes have clearly demonstrated their acumen on the volleyball court, but their success carries over into the classroom as well, with a collective 96.7% grade point average. We're also joined today by the Burnt Hills Boston Lake boys cross country team and head coach Chip Button, who has been a yearly guest dating back to my time across the hall in the New York State Assembly. Now, I wouldn't recommend it of the coach, but Coach Button could probably drive here blindfolded at this point. The Burnt Hills Boston Lake boys cross country team once again captured the New York State Class B cross country championship on Saturday, November 11th, 2023 at Vernon Verona Sherrill High School in Verona. As I have chronicled, these are not uncharted waters for the Burnt Hills Boston Lake boys cross country team, who have now won 7 Yes, 7 straight New York State Class B cross-country team championships. Unprecedented. Furthermore, this is the program's 24th and 10th consecutive Section 2 championship and their 12th New York State championship overall. Like their fellow classmates, these scholar athletes also excelled in the classroom, garnering a team-wide grade point average of 94.05%. It is both an honor and a privilege to bring 2 championships from the same school here to the Capitol, and that is due in large part to the school's coaches, the assistant coaches, and the school-wide programs at Ballston Lake High School, Burnt Hills Ballston Lake High School. I want to commend Athletic Director Joe Scalise, who also joins us in the chamber today. He is the common denominator to the success of these 2 outstanding programs. Mr. President, I would ask you to welcome them, congratulate them all for all of them, the cordialities of this august Senate body, and tell them how much we appreciate the unprecedented achievements they've saw in the past years and last year as New York State champions.
Thank you, Senator Tedisco. To our championship, incredible student athletes and their coaches, we welcome you on behalf of the Senate. We extend to you all of the privileges and courtesies of this House. Please rise and be recognized. Those resolutions were adopted on January 9th. Senator Serrano.
At the request of the sponsors, the resolutions are open for co-sponsorship.
The resolutions are open for co-sponsorship. Should you choose not to be a co-sponsor, please notify the desk. Senator Serrano.
Thank you. Please take up the reading of the calendar.
Secretary will read.
Calendar number 157, Senate Print 1189 by Senator Prasad, an act to amend the criminal procedure law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the 120th day and shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 51.
The bill's passed.
Calendar number 168, Senate Print 5815A by Senator Mannion, an act to amend the public health law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect June 1st, 2025.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 51.
The bill's passed.
Calendar number 170, Senate Print 5018 by Senator Scarcella Stanton, an act to amend the Veteran Services Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 120th day and shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Senator Scarcella Stanton to explain her vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. The purpose of this bill is to require the Director of Division of Veterans Affairs to collaborate with SUNY and CUNY to develop a Veteran Career Assistance Program. We know SUNY and CUNY does so much for our veterans already, but it's crucial to be able to translate their military skills into civilian life. I'm a proud CUNY graduate, as is my husband, who is a veteran and graduate of Brooklyn College. I am the College of Staten Island, so we got both sides of the bridge covered. I'm really proud to sponsor this legislation, and thank you to my colleagues for passing today.
Senator Scarcella Stanton to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 51.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 208, Senate Print 6617 by Senator Adabo, an act to amend the correction law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to Calendar 208, those senators voting in the negative are Senators Borrello, Caesar Fitzpatrick, Griffo, Oberacker, O'Mara, Rhodes, Steck, Weber, and White. Ayes 42, nays 9.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 209, Senate Print 6975 by Senator Salazar, an act to amend the executive law.
Lay it aside.
Calendar number 294, Senate Print 5974A by Senator Parker, an act to amend the general municipal law.
Read the last section.
Section 5, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 51.
Bill's passed.
Calendar number 295, Senate Print 6310 by Senator Hinchy, an act to amend the public service law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to Calendar 295, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Caesar Fitzpatrick and Senator Martin. Ayes 49, nays 2.
The bill's passed.
Calendar number 321, Senate Print 5516A by Senator Brute, an act to amend the mental hygiene law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 51.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 325, Senate Print 1290 by Senator Hinchy, an act to amend the state law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 51.
Bills passed.
Calendar number 330, Senate Print 3406 by Senator Skoufis, an act to amend the public officers law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 90th day and it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Giannaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 51.
The bills passed. Senator Serrano, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Please go to the reading of the controversial calendar.
Secretary will ring the bell. The Secretary will read.
Calendar number 209, Senate Print 6975 by Senator Salazar, an act to amend the executive law.
Senator Lanza, why do you rise?
Mr. President, I believe there's an amendment at the desk. I waive the reading of that amendment and ask that you recognize Senator Rollison.
Thank you, Senator Lanza. Upon review of the amendment in accordance with Rule 6, Section 4B, I rule a non-germane out of order at this time.
Accordingly, Mr. President, I appeal the ruling of the chair and ask that Senator Rollison be heard on that appeal.
The appeal has been made and recognized, and Senator Rollison may be heard. Senator Rollison.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to appeal the ruling of the chair because the proposed amendment is germane to the bill at hand because it amends the bill to include corrections officers and civilian staff. Now, the violence that we have seen in our correctional facilities is unconscionable. It is of the utmost importance that every person within all correctional facilities in the state remain safe from harm. Just as important are the mechanisms and procedures that are in place through which victims can seek recourse when affected by violence and misconduct within their facility. Notably absent from this bill are the people who work all day, all year to maintain safety and order within our correctional facilities. These are our corrections officers and civilian staff who work tirelessly day and night to ensure their facilities are maintained and incarcerated individuals are kept safe. While it's definitely laudable that we enact an anonymous mechanism for reporting sexual violence perpetrated against incarcerated individuals, this mechanism should be available to all employees working within these facilities. This bill, unfortunately, offers none of those protections for our corrections officers and civilian staff. If there are consequences for violence between incarcerated individuals, there should be consequences for violence against employees. It must follow that consequences exist for incarcerated individuals against employees. We must address the issue of assaults on corrections officers and civilian staff. The current staffing shortages at docks will not alleviate if employees are afforded lesser protection than the incarcerated individuals they're tasked at protecting. This bill should not be limited to incarcerated individuals. The bill should have encompassed everyone within that facility against violence and sexual violence within a correctional facility with the same level of concern. Therefore, Mr. President, for those reasons, I strongly urge you to reconsider your ruling.
Thank you, Senator Rollison. I want to remind the House that this vote is on the procedures of the House and the ruling of the chair. Those in favor of overruling the chair signify by saying aye.
Show of hands.
Show of hands has been requested and so ordered. Announce the results.
Ayes 19.
The ruling of the chair stands and the bill in chief is before the House. Senator Rollison? Senator Rollison,
Through you, Mr. President, would the sponsor yield for a question?
will the sponsor yield? The
Yes.
sponsor yields.
What I tried to attempt with the amendment was to include all staff within a facility to have the same reporting mechanism that will be afforded to the incarcerated individuals. Why would you not want to include corrections officers and civilian staff within our facilities in this bill?
Through you, Mr. President, I really appreciate the spirit of what Senator Rollison is saying, that sexual violence is a serious problem in correctional facilities, both for incarcerated individuals and for staff, and we need to treat it seriously. However, the reason why this amendment would not be necessary is because in addition to having mechanisms for reporting sexual violence to their employer, a DOCS employee does have the freedom to report sexual assault anonymously or confidentially to the Inspector General. But that option is just not currently accessible to incarcerated individuals. So we feel that it would be redundant to do that.
Mr. President, through you, would the sponsor continue to yield?
Will the sponsor yield?
Yes.
The sponsor yields.
Senator, would you consider amending this bill to include that? I know the amendment failed, but would you consider that?
Mr. President, I would not, respectfully, simply because I feel that it would be redundant, and the purpose of this bill is actually to try to make sure that incarcerated individuals have adequate means of reporting sexual violence, which currently is often either ignored entirely or claims of sexual violence made by incarcerated individuals to DOCS are investigated by their alleged assailants, colleagues, or friends in OSI. And that's why it's so important for us to create this mechanism for incarcerated individuals specifically.
Mr. President, on the bill?
Senator Rollison on the bill.
Last year, many of us in this chamber and in the Assembly met with and then held an event with numerous corrections officers, female corrections officers from throughout the state, who told about their experiences to us and to others that were present of what they experienced within correctional facilities. And I believe that that was a cry for help. It was also a cry for, you need to listen to us. Please take these matters seriously. And I just believe, respectfully to my colleagues, that, that prison violence cannot be tolerated, whether you're an incarcerated individual or you're a member of staff. And these women deserve, and all staff members, but specifically that day, it was very disheartening to hear their stories of things that they have to encounter and endure within the correctional facilities in this state. They should be getting the same protections and mechanisms that our incarcerated individuals get. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Rollison. Are there any other senators wishing to be heard? Seeing or hearing none, debate is closed. Senator Serrano.
Upon consent, we've agreed to restore calendar 209 to the non-controversial calendar, so let's take it up that way.
On consent, the bill is restored to the non-controversial calendar. The Secretary will read.
Section 3 of this act take effect on the 180th day after it shall become a law.
Read the last section. Oh, call the roll, excuse me.
Dabo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 209, voted in the negative are Senators Obel-Record and White, ayes 52, nays 2.
The bill is passed. Senator Serrano, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is there any further business at the desk?
There is no further business at the desk.
I move to adjourn until Monday, February 26th at 3 p.m., with the intervening days being legislative days.
On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Monday, February 26th at 3 p.m. with the intervening days being legislative. Happy Valentine's Day.